I'm looking at the blood pressure machine, and the top number is 186. The bottom number is 125. Not good. This guy needs help. He needs an ER doctor. He needs to go get something done here. Now, I'm actually an ER doctor myself, so I know that this guy needs some help. Let me tell you a little about blood pressures. Just as it says science, so we're going to take a little quick science break, and we're going to learn about blood pressure here. There's, in general, 3 types of blood pressure. You know, the basic type, the first type over here is kind of essential hypertension, where you take some medicine, everything, you know, no big deal, your blood pressure comes down, everything's fine, more preventative than anything. Then there's the next step of blood pressure, which is called hypertensive urgency, where the numbers are 180 over 120 or higher, but there's no symptoms. And as the name implies, it's actually a medical term, hypertensive urgency, is that you gotta kind of do something. It's kind of urgent, it's not life or death, we're not gonna die right now, but we gotta kind of get something done. And then there's level 3 blood pressure, which is called hypertensive emergency, where the numbers are 180 over 120 or higher, and the patient's having symptoms. And again, as the name implies, it's an emergency, so we gotta do something right now. Now, as an ER doc, you might be surprised to learn that probably 80% of what I see in the emergency room is not really an emergency. People come in, they sprain their ankle, they're like, I need something done. No, it's okay, you'll live. But as the name implies, hypertensive emergency is actually one of those emergencies where you gotta do something right now, where this patient could die. So this poor guy with this blood pressure has hypertensive emergency. He's got symptoms as well. Now you might wonder who that patient is. That blood pressure machine was hooked up right here to my arm. I was that patient. I'm that poor guy that needs something done. And in that moment, I was actually kind of lying at the moment, wondering, how did I get here? I'm a doctor, I should know better. I should not be eating funnel cake. I know better. How did I get here? Well, let me tell you folks how I got there. The story actually starts 2 or 3 years before that. You see, I always had problems with my back. I had actually 5 slip discs in my back, always doing like crazy weightlifting things when I was younger, thought I could lift that, 1,000 pounds or whatever. Always did it kind of in a stupid way. So kept injuring my back over the years. It got progressively worse, just kept getting worse and worse over the years. And again, as a doctor, I know you don't want surgery. You don't want surgery in your back unless you absolutely have to have surgery. You don't want surgery. So I tried everything. Tried some exercise, some physical therapy, even tried something called epidural steroids. Did you have an epidural? Yeah, so you kind of know what it is. It's similar. So again, back to science, the epidural space. No, I'm just kidding. It's a small space where there's a covering of the spinal cord and brain, and you put stuff just on the outside of epidural. So you put stuff just on the outside of that space. So in Jessica's case, they put a numbing medication like lidocaine or something in that space, so she couldn't feel the C-section. In my case, they put steroids there to calm the nerves down, so I could not have the pain. Tried that twice. It worked for a little bit, kind of got better, and then of course got worse. And one day, the symptoms got really bad. And I started having some severe like neurologic symptoms, which again, I knew that when you have these symptoms, you gotta get something done. Because again, you have some fairly serious permanent neurologic damage if you don't. So I went to my surgeon and I said, it's not good. He's like, yep, it's not good. And you need surgery. So I said, okay, let's do it. At this point, I kind of wanted the surgery. This has been going on for 10 years. I'm like, I just need to get this taken care of. I want to be done with this. So I want the surgery. He said, fine, we're going to do the surgery. Just go to your regular doc and get clearance and we'll do the surgery, no problem. We scheduled the surgery. So I went to my regular doctor and I'm like, doc, I'm healthy, it's just a formality. He said, I gotta get this done or he's not gonna do my surgery. So she said, okay, fine. And she said, Sunil, you're healthy, good news, but your blood pressure's elevated. I'm like, what? No, I'm healthy. That's not me, that's not my blood pressure. She said, yes, it's 140 over 100. I'm like, are you sure? She said, yes, I'm sure. Can you take it again? She takes it again, same number. I'm like, can you take it again? She takes it again, same number. This went on for like 5 or 10 minutes back and forth. So finally we decided that was my blood pressure. I'm like, sure it's not the guy in another room? No, it's my blood pressure. I said, doc, I'm having a lot of pain. I'm supposed to have surgery. I want to have surgery, but I don't want to have surgery. So it's got to be, I'm just nervous, right? She's like, maybe, maybe not. But anyway, we said, okay, fine. Go have the surgery. Come back after 6 months. We'll check it again, and we'll see where you're at. I said, okay. So went to have the surgery. Showed up the day of surgery again with kind of, how do you describe it? Kind of like nervous anticipation. You kind of want to do it, but you're like, I don't really want surgery. I want some guy cutting my back open, but whatever. So I get there, and this time my blood pressure is 150/110. And they're talking about canceling the surgery. I'm like, no, you all don't understand. I'm having these symptoms. I need to have the surgery. We're doing the surgery. Like, well, we don't know. You can't have surgery. All the back and forth. So finally, they agreed to do the surgery. They gave me some medicine, brought the blood pressure down, slowly, or whatever. That day, I had the surgery. Surgery went fine, thank God. Everything was good. 3 or 4 months later, I'm doing fine, actually hitting tennis balls, still having pain, but actually hitting some tennis balls. Doctor said it was okay, so it wasn't just my idea. My surgeon said it was okay. So hitting tennis balls, I said, no, it's good, everything's going well. So a couple months later, I go back to my regular doctor. I said, Doc, I'm back, my surgery is good, I'm hitting tennis balls, check my blood pressure, it's gonna be good this time, you're gonna like this one. She's like, okay, so she checks the blood pressure, 140/100. And we go through that same little thing. She checks it, I said no, she checks, I said no. Are you sure it's not the guy in the other room? We kind of go with the same thing. She's like, yeah, it's your blood pressure. And I'm like, man, this is, I don't know, it can't be me, I'm healthy, I'm a doctor. Doctors don't get sick, right? I mean, it can't be me, come on. She's like, well, you probably need medicine. I'm like, no, only old people are on medicine. I don't take medicine every day. I prescribe medicine, I don't take medicine. You see how this works, Doc? You look like you see we're together, right, on this? She's like, no, you need medicine. So I convinced her, I said, look, let me work on my diet and exercise. I'm gonna stop the funnel cake. I told her I'm not gonna go to the fair. And she's like, okay, give it a try, come back in 6 months. So the first month, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing some more exercise, avoiding the funnel cake and things like that. You see, I'm the kind of guy who, I don't really drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, but I love crappy food, I really do. There's, those restaurants where you drive your car up to them, what are those things called again? Drive-thrus, yeah, I love those things. So anything, as long as you can drive your car up to it, I'm in. So I said, I'm gonna do it. So month 2, I did it, and of course I forget about it, being me, because again, I'm a doctor, I'm healthy, that's not me. So I forget about it, and year or 2 goes by, I never followed up with my own doctor, and I was driving home from Columbus, Ohio. My parents live in Columbus, Ohio. Driving home on a Sunday after visiting them, and I had all my 4 kids in the back with me. Just finished a visit to their grandparents. I don't really get along with my parents, I don't really like them very much, but they kind of think this way, I think this way. But anyway, so I was trying to be the good son, visiting my parents, we're coming back. It's late, about 10 o'clock at night, we get back here in Northern Virginia, I live not too far from here. And kids are tired, they go right to bed. I get in bed trying to go to bed. I can't go to bed. I have a headache. And I never get headaches. Something's wrong. I'm a good sleeper. I'm a good eater and a good sleeper. 2 things I'm really good at in life. But this headache is so bad that I can't sleep. So something is wrong. So my doctor brain starts going, okay, what could this be? Maybe I drank too much caffeine today. Maybe I didn't drink enough caffeine today. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I'm stressed. I don't know. Try to take some deep breaths, calm down, meditate a little bit. Blood pressure, the headache is still there. So I'm like, what could this be? And out of the corner of my eye, I'd seen that old blood pressure machine sitting over there, the one from years ago that the doctor told me I had to get. So I think it's got dust on it and stuff like that. So I'm like, could it be my blood pressure? Maybe. So I walk over there, grab the machine, put it on, and it says, push the button, it says 182/125. Ooh, not good. No, it can't be me, so it's got to be wrong, right? So it can't be me. Adjust the button, take it off, adjust it again, push the button again. Number's the same. Do it 3 or 4 times. The number is the same. And that's how I ended up that day, wondering how I got there. How did I get there? The good news, again, like I said, I recognized this right away. I knew there was a problem, so I got it taken care of. I got on medications right away. And within 24 hours, my blood pressure was actually normal. Had never taken blood pressure medicines before, so I think I responded very well. And I said, well, what am I going to do, though? Because I literally almost died. I mean, I could have died. You can have a stroke, a heart attack. This is serious stuff. Again, hypertensive emergency. They don't call it that for no reason. What am I going to do? So, up to that point, I had never been a person who really worked out or, stayed in shape that well. I played a little tennis, did a little bit of this, but it was kind of on and off, always on and off. Did it for a few weeks and then would stop doing it. Diet, like I told you, the drive-through thing. Never was really good with that. So I said, I'm going to do a 30-day challenge. I'm going to go to the gym every day for 30 days and get in shape, and this is it. I got to do it this time. And the interesting thing is it worked. It actually worked. I did my 30-day challenge, and ever since then, I've been going to the gym not every day, but on a regular basis. Been watching my diet. I'm trying. I have not had a funnel page for about 5 years. This morning, actually, was at the gym. And what I realized through going through that whole thing is that, why did it work this time? Because before, it was always in my neocortex. I knew I needed to do it. This time it connected deeper. It connected with my emotions, specifically my fear of dying. It connected. So what I've learned in life is if you really want to get something done, figure out a way to connect it deeper with your emotions. Make sure there's an emotional reason you do it, not just you think you need to do it. So that's what worked for me. So hopefully you enjoyed that and check your blood pressure.